Today I'll be taking a topic which is a set of question answers, and this is not a question answer about what you want with your SP or what you want with your relationship. This is something which I feel like I see a lot of people being biased by a lot of things out there in the internet, and they just don't know which one to cut off and which one to actually listen to. And I think as a manifestation channel, I should be able to help my subscribers with what to feed in their mind and what not to, because a lot of things out there is totally bullshit and nonsense, and it's just for money for these kind of people. So I have some standard set of questions which I came up because I received some emails from this channel's email ID, and I kind of like felt like it was a common. These questions are common because they are describing some shitty circumstance which has happened with them, and they're also not just saying the manifestation point of view of seeing things, but also the, I would say, the dating coach kind of perspective. So why I want you guys to listen to this is it's always good to know what the other person is selling to you based on the weakness you might have hold as a limiting belief. So so some of the questions, so I've made it summarized because these are some common questions which are always been asked. So I just thought to talk about it. Okay, so first question: my SP is an avoidant attachment person. I just want to ask you, if everything is about avoidant or anxious labels, then how do you explain people who completely change and commit when their self conceptions? Okay, here you are saying that your SP is an avoidant person, and then you are saying that if everything is about avoidant or anxious labels, then how do you explain people who completely change and commit when their self conceptions? So, do you think this avoidant and anxious thing is in real? Because you are describing someone avoidant or anxious. And to be honest, like I was also in this trap for some time that my SP is avoidant or I am anxious. And it's kind of true up to a certain extent that okay, so we exhibit characteristics wherein we are pushing away people, so you are an avoidant. We are exhibiting characteristics wherein we are too much attached to people, like we are attached to people, but our thoughts about those specific loved people are too much of anxiety related, like oh my god, this person is not messaging, oh my god, this person is did see me in a proper way, and you start having fears related to it. So personally, I always feel that you should never be putting labels to something or someone, and it's not just me. My philosophy comes from the sacred books of Gita and Bible. So I don't believe in putting labels in people, because when you put a label in people, or for example, if you're not able to do something and you say that I'm a knave person, knave is still a good adjective, but if you say that I'm stupid and I'm not able to learn in a fast pace, then you will start behaving like a stupid person even when your capability is beyond that. So I do not like putting labels. So that's why I do not like putting their SP as anxious or avoidant box. They are beyond that, because every person goes through evolution. Every person has their own way of dealing with things, and yes, might be a certain strata of thought has not been helping them, but like when we do, we get feedbacks. When they do things, they also get feedback. So of course you cannot put someone in a box, and you cannot say that an anxious person has these characteristics and an avoidant person has these characteristics. These are just like you are putting yourself into limitation, and that's not what we do in manifestation coaches. And you know, these coaches nowadays, like nowadays I was shocked to hear this term. There is a term known as a breakup coach. So I really don't understand what does a breakup coach do. Maybe just talk about sadness and stuff things. And so basically they're not teaching you to take accountability of yourself. They're not teaching you of how your thoughts are actually pushing away people, or so that's the thing. And I feel like when we put a label to something, that's just the pathetic thing ever you can do to yourself, your self concept, your life, and the same patterns would keep repeating yourself. So let me go to the second question. Why do dating coaches sell breakup recovery or moving on courses while manifestation teaches that circumstances don't matter and relationships can heal? Of course, relationships can heal. It's written in the Bible that whatever you ask for in my name, I will give it to you if you feel like you have received it. So I don't know, like I do not remember the exact verse, but when you pray, believe as if you received it and it will be yours. This is written in the Bible. Do you think that God is doing some time pass writing this in Bible? No, right? But this dating coaches, what they will be selling you is that sorry, the thing one woman was saying, was selling in the internet, and I am not trying to attack on someone, but that was so ridiculous to me. I was following this person for so long, and I had to unfollow her immediately. So the thing was, she has a heartbreaker healers club, and that is something which is like weird and funny. And why I say funny is not because she has a heartbreak club, but you can say a self-love course. Why are you selling it in the name of Heartbreakers Healers Club? It's like you're so much based on the sadness, and every post, each and everything she will post writing it as you feel like you will not get over your ex or stuff like that. And I'm like, first of all, who thinks about their ex? Second thing is that if you're manifesting someone, you will not call that person your ex. I mean, I have always been strict with people who know about me. There are many people like who used to call my person this word, and I used to say that he's my husband. He can never be that word, that ex thing. So I think it's just a part of bullshit, and if you are selling yourself into this nonsense, you will be more and more irritated with it. And you know that this circumstances change is based on something which is heavenly, which is something based on God, and it's justified in the verses of the Bible and Gita. So I don't think you have anything to doubt on. It's just that people in this journey sometimes are not persistent, they're not consistent, they do not stick with it, and that is why they do not get the desired results, because they are always like, they say that I gave 1 month of this time and nothing has manifested. You know, there are people who have manifested so many things even if it took a long time. So and also one more thing, you can manifest overnight as well if your self concept is that perfect. Or not just your self concept. There are many coaches out there who will only focus on self concept, but they do not teach you how to see your SP in a positive light. So I had a client once who was like almost like she was 3-4 years older to me, and she was desperate for getting married, to be honest, sexual intimacy, and also for babies. Now, babies I understand, but the way she was talking in the phone and she was explaining things about her perspective, I did not at all feel sorry for her, because she was so desperate. Like, there is one thing wherein you feel hungry for your SP in a way that you want your emotional needs to be fulfilled, and there's something wherein you just feel greedy that if your SP comes in your life, he will fulfill you emotionally, sexually, physically, monetarily, and all that kind of stuff. And she was looking at her SP as if he's some kind of machine who will give her everything she wants, and that's not how love works. That's not how manifestation works as well. If you're so dependent on the other person to fulfill you in every way, that's not love. First thing. Second thing is that so she was narrating her incident wherein her SP used to live in the northern part of India and she used to live in Mumbai, and she was saying that he was about to meet me, but then I stopped him and I said that I'll come to meet you in Delhi. So that person was living in Delhi, and she said that I'll come to meet you in Delhi, and this person actually flew to Delhi, and this person was actually busy. Her boyfriend was I don't know, her boyfriend, or I don't know what it was. She basically met this person in some dating site or something like that. And dating sites are like, I have like, to be honest, to me it is like a bullshit fraud site, because people are very superficial. I've never believed in finding partners in dating sites, so that is something like I've never followed. I've done a lot of like, I had done a project on it. I interviewed a lot of people for this, because the project was related to that, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the topic. I didn't like the way people judge just by one to interactions. That's not me. To me, I'm a very organic kind of person. So that's the thing. And what I felt in this was, um, let me tell you, 1 minute. I just forgot what I was saying. Okay, so the thing about this lady, yeah. So the thing about this lady is, she went to meet this person in Delhi, and then this person wanted to meet, the guy wanted to meet the girl after a day, because he was busy with his work, and basically he was trying to surprise this woman with something, and that's why he was asking for 1 day time, because he was at his office and he needed to sort something out and then come. And this woman became so impatient, and her self concept was so bullshit. I mean, she was one of those people who used to continuously be in tarot for getting validation. And that's something I want to bring to your notice, to everyone. If you are constantly needing validation, something is seriously missing in your self concept, because you wouldn't need validation so much had you just believed in yourself. Reassurances are different, but validations are totally different. I mean, validations, it's like, each and every time you want someone to confirm that you are great, then that means you do not believe good about yourself. That's why you want someone to confirm to that. So this woman needed constant validation. If one doubt arises, but she told me, if one doubt arose about something related to SP or related to her love life, she would go and contact a tarot card reader or an astrologer, and she would just go into that case. And I was like, oh my god, at this point I need to cut this call, because my mind is getting fucked up. She was so negative, and and she wouldn't even allow me to speak. She kept on talking about her same toxic story, and then it felt like she was using me as a coach also, to only listen to her shit. Wherein, now comes the real point. So this person said to, her boyfriend was about to surprise her the next day, and that day itself she went around in the evening, and she had a huge fight with her boyfriend. And she said that she used a word which likely meant, and it's a word in Hindi, so I cannot say it here, because there are many international people also here who don't speak Hindi, so I cannot speak that word. But basically, she used a word, she name called her person, saying, you are important. So she used the Hindi word also, and she used this English word also. If you know a man, not all men have no ego. There are many people who have a lot of ego inside of them, and that's something which is not helpful. But we are not here changing other people here. We can change them by our assumptions, but most of the people I've seen, like most of the men, they have a lot of ego. So just because they're men, so this person, he was trying to be sweet to her, and this woman went and told that you are important. And I'm like, are you crazy? Who says this thing? And I mean, I couldn't control. I just knew her for almost like 30 minutes or something, but I couldn't control myself, as she wouldn't allow me to speak. So I just jumped into it, and I just said that, are you crazy? You are calling him this? So she said, wait, let me clarify my stance. I said that I'm not interested in your stance. Like, that was not like, I said it politely, but that's what I meant, that I am not interested in your stance. You do not think about others. And then she later on clarified that yes, he was trying to give me a surprise and etc etc. Now we are not talking. He is trying to look for other girls and etc. I said that for the other girls part I cannot comment, but the thing is you created this for yourself. And this is not just with this one case, it's actually with every case which happens to us with our SPs. We might say that this happened, I am hurt, I am this, I am that, but it's your assumptions which plays the part. Even if you're in a workplace and you think that somebody would come and replace you, it would, because that's how you think about yourself. So that's what I wanted to say, that circumstances don't matter. Why circumstances don't matter? Because you created those circumstances by your old assumptions. So if you change your assumption, everything else will change. We live in a reactionary universe, so I would say that like how we say scientifically, there's a cause and effect. So if your cause is something which you have which you have created for yourself by your negative thinking, then you can change the effect also if you think positive. So if you cause the breakup, you can cause the union also, right? Okay, now the third question. If your ex is truly avoidant, why do they still come back once someone stops feeding the fear-based cycle and aligns with love? It's because you see your I would not use this word X and etc. because I do not believe in this, and I'm a manifestation channel, so I do not use dating coach terms. So basically this person is saying, if your SP is truly avoidant, why do they still come back once? Because you stop feeding the negative assumption, you stop seeing them in a negative light, you forgive this person, you forget what has happened, you see them in a new light, you make a new relationship. So if you have seen the Bible, it is always said that I will make everything new. There's a Bible on there's a verse in the Bible which says that where Jesus is saying the same thing, that I will make everything new, I will put flesh on the bones. So some tragedy had happened at that place. I do not actually remember like what exactly it was, but I read it. It was something like there was a barren place, there was no living beings living there, and people were just hopeless because there were no living beings living there. So they already went through a lot of suffering and bondage, so they wanted to feel better in this new land they got. So in that new land, so Jesus is saying that I will make everything new, I will make flesh come out of the bones, and I will breathe air on it. So that is something which is how you have to apply mentally also. God will help you, but if you don't see things in the right light, in the positive light, you will keep recreating the same circumstances. Fourth question. Why do dating coaches act like people are doomed by their attachment style, but manifestation shows anyone can shift states and transform their relationships? Basically, what dating coaches are doing are for money. See, I don't charge people for giving free advices here. It is because I'm sharing through my experiences, and I like to help people. And I feel like if you want to earn money, there's a greater way of earning money. Why not be dependent on that? And why to charge people when you can help them by your own experience, right? So basically what I think is that dating coaches' perspective is that they're always thinking about the problem, but the problem is not to solve it. The problem is that, break up from this person, go and find a new relationship, because you are the common denominator and you have not changed yourself. You will again recreate the same things again and again. So if this excites you, you can go to a dating coach, otherwise you can stay in my channel. So yeah, 1 minute. Okay, now the fifth question is, if love is all through tricks, rules and strategies, why do so many success stories prove that inner alignment, not games, brings lasting love? So if love is all through tricks, so basically what this woman is saying is, if you are earning love through tricks, so you will see that there are many dating coaches who will tell you that play hard to get, be cold, play hot and cold, and they will use all these kinds of things. And if you see that if you are someone who steps into the relationship and then goes back, then people will tell you are inconsistent. Why do the people tell you inconsistent? Because if you are in love, you need to be in love. You have to take care of everything which is happening. You need to change yourself if it is required. You need to understand your partner, and so that's how it goes, right? So if you start playing hot and cold with this person, you still have running from this assumptions that there is something outside of us, and I need to do something to make him love me. So the inside self concept you have about this person, about your love or anything in general, is because is that you don't believe in yourself, and you feel like some strategy would help you to get this person. So I feel like I've never been a fan of this, like, go no contact to make him commit to you. What will that do? No, clearly, like, I do not understand. If you have certain big problems, like for example, something has happened and you feel like you can't talk to this person for some time, you can do that. But otherwise, like, going no contact just to manipulate this person to talk is something which I do not endorse. But also don't do one-sided stuffs. I would say that also. Like, what I mean by this is, if somebody is insulting you, don't take that insult. Initiating contact, thinking that this person loves to read my messages, that's fine. But if you're doing something wherein you're like, somebody is insulting and you're still entertaining that insult, that's not right. So to me, love is not earned through tricks, rules and strategies, and that's why I do not follow what dating coaches say. I am mostly about, like, I have inner alignment, I have faith, I'm affirming, I have this faith that me and you are together. So I don't need to do all this to earn your love. I'm not a cheap girl. So that's what I feel. So okay, one more question is there. Why is the same avoidant person suddenly secure when they meet someone they truly want? Doesn't that prove attachment theory is a limiting box? Of course, attachment theory is a limiting box, and coaches are emphasizing this fear and scarcity. They'll never commit, you must let go and all that kind of stuff, because first thing is that they are teaching this, that you have a problem, you have a pain, and pay us for the solution. So if people actually understood their own part to shift reality, these coaches would lose business overnight. And I'm not being against someone or something, but basically they're not teaching you to take responsibility. If you even escape from this person and you find a new person, you'll still carry on the same things again and again. And if you've seen most of the people who are divorced or who have been jumping from one relationship to another, they have this record breaking thing that they will always repeat the same thing again and again. Why? Because that's the problem. They do not take responsibility for their own actions. They do not blame themselves for something which has happened. So if you have found out that, okay, I created this, so forgive yourself and then create a new reality. And sometimes you might be like, I'm not able to forgive and all that kind of stuff. Not able to forgive means you are willingly trying to forgive, but something inside of you, like, wants to hold on into that old story of pain and resentment. Then you need to find a way to soothe yourself, because until and unless you forgive, nothing's going to happen. So, and I have always been someone, like, I think I've forgiven, like, it's not about me, it's written in the Bible also, that there are times wherein you will have to forgive people 77 times 7 times 77, 7 to the power 77, which means infinitely. So if you have to live with someone, you will obviously have to forgive them. There's no way. Without forgiveness you cannot stay. Okay, so, and holding resentment will help you do nothing. This mistake has been done, like, I feel like this mistake my SP did when we were in the second year, but ultimately he realized that holding on to a painful story won't help for anyone. So if you have seen these breakup courses, it's a total scam, to be honest. And they usually push this idea that your person is gone, move on, forget them. Back then they will sell, after that they will also sell this course that get back your SP and all that kind of stuff. So do not fall into all these kinds of things, because that's going to suck your accountability and responsibility which you take for yourself. And from a manifestation lens, circumstances don't matter. A person isn't bound by their past patterns, and love is not about rules, games, or waiting periods. So do not suck yourself into this fear plus strategy thing. Manifestation is about faith and inner alignment, and fear, it's something which you have in the mind. You must do root cause analysis to understand where is this coming from. And so don't get into this track of fear plus strategy which the dating coaches are doing. And basically, I'm not shaming anyone, but I've seen things, and to me it doesn't help in your manifestation. If you just focus on the end, that will help. That's it. Thank you.